Welcome to the Conveyance Desk. This is episode 23. Before we reach today's document, the idea that runs under every episode of this series, every step in a property transfer, has someone chasing it for you. And the only question that ever really matters is who that someone answers to. Independent. Oversight is not a brand, and it is not a bigger firm. It is a reporting line, someone who works for you, and not for the side that earns a commission on the close. Hold that thought, because today's step is the one piece of paper that can stop your transfer dead. The no objection certificate. Most people call it the NOC. Quick reminder. This is not legal advice. It is general information about how property transfers work in Dubai. For your own transaction, take advice on your own facts. 1. What the NOC actually is. Here is the framing. The NOC is the developer's permission for your sale to complete. No transfer is registered without it. The buyer pays. The seller agrees. The price is set. And none of it matters until the developer issues this certificate. It confirms the service charges are clear. It confirms there is nothing outstanding against the unit that the developer knows about. It is, in plain terms, a gate, and the developer holds the key. A week becomes 3, and the people waiting on the money start to push. Here is what makes it worse. The NOC is usually applied for late in the process, once everything else is agreed. So by the time it stalls, the buyer has already committed, the seller has already planned around the funds, and everyone wants it done. That pressure does not make the certificate come faster. It only makes the people involved more willing to wade through whatever it says. 3. The question nobody asks at this stage. Here is the part that matters. When the knock stalls, someone has to chase it. Someone has to call the developer. Someone has to reconcile the service charge ledger. Someone has to tell you, honestly, what the holdup is. So ask the question you were never told to ask. Who is that someone, and who do they answer to? If the person chasing your knock is paid when the deal closes, their interest is speed. Speed is not the same as accuracy, and speed is not the same as your protection. 4. Where the interests quietly split. Most of the time, fast and correct point the same way. The NOT comes through, the numbers match, everyone moves on. But occasionally, they do not point the same way. The service charge figure on the certificate is higher than you were told. There is a chiller bill nobody mentioned. There is a penalty sitting on the account from 2 years ago. Now there is a choice. Surface it, and the deal slows while it is sorted, or smooth it over and let it land on whoever notices last. A progression team, measured on completions, has a structural reason to smooth that, not because anyone is dishonest, because that is what the incentive rewards. Picture it concretely. You were told the service charges were around 12,000 for the year. The certificate comes back showing an outstanding balance closer to 19. There is a maintenance levy from a prior period nobody mentioned. In the version where speed wins, that gap gets quietly absorbed into closing costs, and you barely notice. In the version where someone is reading for you, that gap becomes a conversation before you pay. 7,000 dirhams is the difference between the two versions, and the only thing that decides which version you get is who was reading the certificate and for whom. We have walked through what happens when that choice goes the wrong way over at dispute.ae. 5. What independent oversight changes. Here is the framing again, because it is the whole point. Independent oversight is not a brand, and it is not a bigger firm. It is a reporting line. It is someone whose only job is to read the NOC, check the figures, and tell you what they actually say. Someone who has no commission writing on the certificate, clearing this week instead of next. That person reads the service charge reconciliation line by line. That person reads the service charge reconciliation line by line. That person asks the developer the awkward question. That person tells you to hold before you release funds, if holding is the right call. The gate is still the developer's. But now you have someone reading what comes through it for you. 6. How to put that check in place. You do not need anyone's permission to do this. You can appoint your own check on the NOC, independent of the side selling you the unit. Before the certificate is issued, you ask for the service charge statement in writing. When it is issued, you have it read against what you were promised. If the numbers move, you find out why before the money moves. That is the entire idea. A second set of eyes with one set of interests, yours. If you want a plain map of where the NOC sits in the full transfer, the free transfer file at conveyance.ae lays out every step in order. Read it once, and the pressure to release funds before the certificate is read loses its grip. Remember the idea we opened with. Every step has someone chasing it, and the question is always who they answer to. On the NOC, that is the whole difference. A certificate that is read to you, or one that is read for you. Next episode, episode 24, we go one layer deeper than the NOC, into the things that sit silently against a title, liens, mortgages, and the charge nobody flagged until handover. The quiet items a deal in a hurry has every reason not to find. This was the Conveyance Desk.